How's it going, everyone? We are coming up on the release of a long-anticipated remake and the return of an IP that is beloved in the horror game community. And that is, of course, Bloober Team's remake of Silent Hill 2. It's great to see Konami delve back into a lot of their IPs that have been a bit dormant, with the Silent Hill 2 remake here, Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta Snake Eater next year, all of the collections they've been putting out. However, Silent Hill 2 as a remake is not done in-house by Konami. Rather, it's being done by a very talented studio in Bloober Team who have put out games such as Observer, and it seems like they are doing a good job with Silent Hill 2. Have to say, some of the initial footage we saw of the Silent Hill 2 remake looked a little bit concerning, but the recent gameplay we've seen, man, it just seems like they took a lot of the criticism, refined it a little bit, and it's looked fantastic since. Now, I want to go over some of the key information you should know about the game before you spend your $70 or even $80, because there is a deluxe edition. We'll go over both editions, we'll go over pre-order offerings. However, this is a PlayStation 5 and PC title, and if you are looking to pick up this game on PC, while it is $70 on Steam, I would highly recommend you guys to go to our good friends at Green Man Gaming. You can get a Steam key for the game considerably cheaper, as the base game is 22% off for $54.59, and the deluxe edition 22% off as well, $62.39. 22% off is a sizable savings. Not only that, you don't pay tax either, so it is significant, and you'll get a Steam key directly. You'll redeem it on Steam. You'll play it as normal. So link in the description box below. Great spot to buy your PC games, but wanted to make mention of that. As far as the PlayStation 5 and PC only release, y'all know what happened. Sony came in with money bags and they got a one-year timed exclusivity window for the game. As I mentioned, Silent Hill 2 is the ground-up remake of the original, done in Unreal Engine 5 by Bloober Team, the beloved classic fully remade for next-gen hardware. Konami's intense psychological horror masterpiece, Silent Hill 2, is coming to PlayStation 5 and PC, developed by Bloober Team composer Akira Yamaoka and artist Masahiro Ito. The unsettling town shrouded in the brooding fog will be remade with enhanced visuals, sounds, and gameplay. It's also going to be a game that is going to be greatly expanded from the original in terms of options and opportunities it's going to offer the player. The Silent Hill 2 remake revisits main protagonist James Sunderland and his search for clues in the namesake town relating to a mysterious letter from his wife Mary, who had long been dead. Experience the eerie creatures and other manifestations of James' consciousness, reworked after 20 years using state-of-the-art technology to play on modern entertainment systems in 4K resolution. This is an incredibly psychological, engrossing horror game investigating a letter from his late wife. James returns to where they made so many memories, Silent Hill. What he finds is a ghost town prowled by disturbing monsters and cloaked in a deep fog. Confront the monsters, solve puzzles, and search for the traces of your wife in this remake of Silent Hill 2. Now, while this game is very much relying on its atmosphere and setting a tone and the puzzles, there is a focus on the combat as well, and the combat is refined with this Silent Hill 2 remake, and they've completely overhauled the combat system. Combat wasn't a big aspect and the defining aspect of Silent Hill 2. However, the experience has been updated with iron sight aiming, a timed evasion system, more physical melee battles to create an even more engrossing experience. Puzzles, the narrative, the tone of the game, and creating a tense atmosphere absolutely also going to be at the heart of the game. With a lot of the refinements, the game does note the visual improvements, high-end graphics, and sound. With ray tracing and other cutting-edge technical enhancements, the world of Silent Hill and its unsettling ambiance is even realer than before. And with the inclusion of new immersive soundscapes, you'll feel like you're standing in the thick of it. Now, it should be noted, at this point, we don't have any concrete information as far as how the performance is exactly going to be. From what we've heard, there is a performance mode that is going to be targeting 60 frames per second. Let me emphasize the word targeting 60 frames per second. It's uncertain whether or not the game is going to be locked at a 60 FPS, but given the visuals of the game, I wouldn't be all too surprised if there are frame dips and things of that nature. A big aspect of this game that they are touting is the larger environments. Explore locations and buildings that were once inaccessible in the original game. Now they are newly added in this remake for complete immersion. On top of that, with these expanded areas, there will be no loading screens either, creating the most immersive experience possible. Enjoy the same acclaimed story. It is going to be true to the original, even while you experience the town of Silent Hill with the fresh eyes across an expanded map. On top of that, fresh eyes, very much so, given that you have a bit of a new point of view and a new perspective from a camera angle standpoint. And I feel with the camera angles, with some of the added aspects, the open levels, the lack of loading screens, they're really going all in terms of creating the most immersive horror experience possible, which I've always said as far as horror games go, creating a compelling atmosphere, engrossing you into the world, that is by far the most important element. It's great that they're making combat refinements, it's great from a visual standpoint, and a lot of the visual elements add to the atmosphere and that overall tense nature. I feel like, based on what we've seen thus far, they've absolutely nailed. Over-the-shoulder camera, as I've mentioned, the remake moves from the original's fixed camera viewpoints to an over-the-shoulder perspective, putting you closer to what James sees for a more thrilling, more immersive experience as you explore the town and come face to face with the monsters. With the gameplay, it's gonna be evolved, however staying true with the familiar weapons like the steel pipe and the handgun. Those are gonna be making their return, but now with an updated combat system. You'll be able to avoid attacks with carefully timed dodges, aim down sights, and more, making monster encounters more engaging and nerve-wracking than ever before. Before we get into these specific additions, I do want to quickly go over the PC system requirements that give us a little bit of an insight on how the game is going to run. As far as minimum requirements go, GeForce GTX 1070 Ti or a Radeon RX 5700, Intel Core i7 6700K, or a Ryzen 5 3600. Now, from a GPU standpoint, that's older hardware. However, that is playing on low/medium quality settings in 1080p in stable 30 FPS. Recommended, you're looking at an i7 8700K, Ryzen 5 3600X, 16 gigs of RAM, and RTX 2080 or a Radeon 6800 XT. The 2080 is a few generations old, but that is for medium quality settings in 60 FPS or high quality settings in 30 FPS in full HD. That is 1080p. However, they also note 4K using DLSS or similar technology. That should be an indicator that this is going to be a pretty beefy game to run, given that a 2080 is still a fairly respectable GPU, and that's still touting for full HD rather than native 4K. DLSS is incredible technology, and with DLSS, it's probably going to look great, but remember, that's a 2080 for 60 FPS at medium. 2080 high quality at 30 FPS at 1080p without upscaling. Upscaling DLSS is going to make it look pretty solid. But if you're really trying to play this game 4K, high settings, 60 frames per second, pack a lunch, you're probably going to have to utilize DLSS even with relatively good hardware as well. And how that'll paint a picture for the PlayStation 5, chances are it is going to look good on the PlayStation 5, but lock 60 frames per second depending on where the visuals lie, I think that's going to be relatively difficult. However, with the PlayStation 5 Pro on the horizon, PSSR can be a game changer for Silent Hill 2, and I expect that to be the reality, but that's still a ways away in November. I do want to note, Silent Hill 2, base game is $70, Digital Deluxe Edition is $80. Digital Deluxe Edition does include advanced access. The game is scheduled for release on October the 8th. If you pay $10 more, the $80 will get you 48 hours of quote-unquote early access. Y'all know how I feel about that. The Deluxe Edition also includes the base game, the digital art book, digital soundtrack, and you will get the Mirror Dog Mask and the Pyramid Head Mask as well. Just in-game content items. Really, I think a lot of people are going to be spending the extra $10 for the 48 hours of early access, but if you do want it cheaper, again, Green Man Gaming for the PC copy, 22% off, $54.59, and the Deluxe Edition, $62.39. You're going to save a considerable amount if you are buying on PC, and that's a Steam code as well. Link in the description box below. We do get an affiliate commission, so that is much appreciated. But that is going to be doing it for me. October is kicking off in a big way, and a long-anticipated game, especially for those of you that played the original game and have affinity towards that. I think this is something that a lot of people have wanted, and a return to Silent Hill. It's been one of those dormant IPs for so long. It's nice to see, after everything that went on with PT, that it's back in some form. Silent Hill 2 is out October 8th, 48 hours early access. If you do buy the Deluxe Edition, that's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.